There's so many diets to choose from. Which one's the best? Hi there, my name is Michelle Doker. I am a wellness strategist, dietary coach with an educational background as a naturopathic doctor. If you like my videos, please make sure to click on the subscribe link below. So there's so many dietary choices out there. There's so many coin phrases and key terms that you can find anything on the Google. So there's things like low carb, high fat, high carb, low fat. There's vegetarian, there's paleo, there's keto, there's Mediterranean. There's all sorts of ways, different ways to eat. So which one's the best? That's not what this video is about. Each of us has our own individual needs, our own cultural differences and preferences. And so this isn't about which one of these diets is going to be the best. However, there are some fundamental things that everybody would benefit from in terms of making choices to what you're eating, no matter what type of diet that you decide to follow or not to follow. And so the first one is whole foods. So what are whole foods? And so whole foods are foods in a state as close as you would find in nature. So it means things that you would find not in packaging, things that don't have long ingredient lists, things that don't have ingredients that you can't pronounce, things that aren't processed, milled, refined. So if you are purchasing, a lot of people will find that they need to, say for example, they want to improve their wellness or they want to lose weight, and they might follow something like a low-fat diet. And so they'll get all the low-fat, low-calorie products. However, it comes in a package, there's a long list of ingredients, and usually low-fat products will contain a large quantity of added sugar to make it taste better. And then there's gluten-free. A lot of people will eat gluten-free because they find when they avoid wheat and gluten that they oftentimes will feel better. However, if they are, you can do a gluten-free diet with eating just whole foods, just focusing on not including gluten in your diet. However, a lot of people will search for junk food alternatives instead. Gluten-free breads, gluten-free cookies, candies, cakes, all sorts of things. And these are packaged processed foods with long lists of ingredients that have a lot of refined ingredients that are highly inflammatory and can turn into sugar quite quickly in the bloodstream. And that's for another video. And then there's also the vegetarian movement. And it is possible to eat healthily vegetarian. It does require some knowledge and some care. However, unfortunately, there's a lot of packaged processed meat alternatives for vegetarians that are nothing but packaged processed refined products, refined wheat, refined soy in highly concentrated inflammatory state. When things are highly refined, the more inflammatory that they can become. And so it goes with any of these diets. If you're choosing processed foods, no matter what it says on the label, if it says organic, if it says gluten-free, it says vegetarian, unfortunately, these words are put on the packages to lead you to believe that they're good for you. But what's really the best for you is to choose items that don't have ingredients lists. As you would find it in nature, fresh vegetables and fruit, unprocessed cuts of fish, meat, chicken, things like that, as well as for some people they will choose to include things like legumes and lentils, but choosing unprocessed forms without the long lists of ingredients and added into things that can have extra ingredients, preservatives, and refined products that turn into sugar really quickly in the bloodstream. When we have high blood sugar spikes over and over again, that causes insulin surges over and over again. And this is what causes a lot of problems. It can lead to inflammation, risk of diabetes, weight gain, obesity, and so much more. So that's my tip for you for today. No matter what way you eat, try to incorporate whole foods without ingredients lists, and avoid those foods in packages. And on that note, my dog needs some attention. So hit the subscribe button, and I look forward to speaking with you in the next video.